Hi everybody, my name is Donna and this is what my hair looks like just after I've washed it. It's a bit messy, but you know what? We're just gonna roll with it. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is how to set goals. And I know that by doing this, I'm definitely setting myself up for some scrutiny with my own goals, which will be next week's video. But for now, I'm going to give you some guidelines if you're battling. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, the first one that I have here is to not set too many goals. I think we all get ahead of ourselves a little bit in the new year and we set far too many goals. Rather, just focus on a few things at a time to avoid overwhelm. It's important to do what you can handle. What I like to do, which I've just recently started doing, as you'll see next week, is to target every aspect of my life. So I've broken down my goals into health, spiritual, career, financial, hobbies, and social. And you can break down yours in any way you like. Perhaps if you feel like you've got more balance in one area than in another area, you won't need to put that area in your goals list. But I feel like it's important just to categorize your goals and to kind of target specific areas of your life just so you can, stay balanced. Okay, my third tip is to be realistic. You need to really look at your life and your time and your schedule and make a call on how much time you can devote to each thing. And if there is time that you can shift things around, you got to definitely be realistic. You can't say, oh, I'm going to write a book in a week, and meanwhile you work full time and you've got kids and other responsibilities as well. That's just not realistic. So you've got to really have a good hard look at your life and your schedule and how busy you are and see where you can fit in the stuff that you need to fit in. Okay, my fourth tip is to have a plan to get detailed with your goals, because I feel like it's easy to say, oh, my goal is just to get healthy, but how are you going to get healthy? Are you going to run twice a week? Are you going to start cutting out sweets and chocolates? I think it's important to write down exactly how you're going to achieve your goals, because if you don't have a plan, then you're just kind of flailing around, and then by the end of it you're like, oh, I tried but it didn't really work. Okay, number 5 is to set goals that motivate you. Like I said before, you've got to be realistic about your goals. So I feel like if you set goals that you're passionate about, that are really important to you, like for me, editing my first draft and starting to write my second book, that's important to me. But I also am very aware that I can't write 5,000 words in a day. It gets a bit much. So you have to set goals that motivate you and excite you, not goals that are going to make you feel like you dread working on them. You really got to kind of find that nice sweet spot that challenges you, but it's not so lofty that you feel like you can never reach it. Number 6 is to write them down. And there's always this debate, I feel like, in the kind of planning and goal setting is, do you share your goals or do you keep them to yourself? Some people need the accountability, other people don't. But I feel like if you write them down and you're looking at them every day or every couple of days, at least you know where you're going. A lot of people these days are doing vision boards, which I think is a great idea. And that's kind of the same concept. So you've got something that you can look at, something that you can see, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, basically. Okay, number 7 is something that I'm personally really want to institute in this new year, is to actually physically schedule things in. Whereas I said before that you need to be realistic about how much time you can spend per day on a certain goal. I think it's important to actually physically schedule it in. Put a reminder on your phone. If you do time blocking like I do, block out that time for the thing that you need to do. My morning routine is all time blocked out. You know, I set certain time periods for certain things that I want to do, and it might seem really regimental, but if you want to create a habit, that's the best way to go about it, is to either attach it to something else that you already do daily, or to, you know, just make sure that you have time that's set aside for it. That's very brief. It's like I said earlier, next week is going to be a review of my goals, my first quarter goals for 2019. So if you want to see that, click subscribe, and if this video was in any way helpful, please let me know by giving it a like and leaving me a comment down below. And also let me know what kind of methods do you institute when you set your goals. You know, everybody asks about resolutions this time of the year, but I think it's important to set them, you know, make them a bit more firm, a little bit more concrete, and to make sure you stick to them. So yeah, thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.